Welcome back to Wiser with Your Health. Thank you for joining me. I'm Ed Logan, and today we're going to be discussing wisdom. So I know that you see that the title is Wiser with Your Health. How do we become wiser? And today I'm going to share with you a scripture out of the apocrypha. Okay, so as I stated previously, this channel is called Wiser with Your Health. Now, the question that we have to ask is, how do we become wise? We become wise through time, and we also become wise through written material like the Bible, the apocrypha, things of that nature, things that give you wisdom, information, knowledge on how to live, how to overcome, how to not make mistakes. So today I wanted to share with you a scripture that greatly affects me, and it affected me. It was one of the catalysts for me deciding to change my life and to decide to eat properly. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I read some of these things, great wisdom, but it terrified me. It terrified me because I saw how I lived my life. So let's get started. Not going to hold you back any longer. And I'm going to read a couple. This is going to come, again, this book is the Apocrypha. It actually was in the 1611 King James Version of the Bible. Now, when they reproduced the Bible again in the next version of the King James, they took the Apocrypha books out. Now, the Apocrypha has a lot of wisdom books in it. And I'm not quite sure why they would exactly take that out. But it does have a lot of wisdom in it. And so I want to share some of that wisdom with you today so that it can help you start on your journey like it helped me. So what we're going to read from is called The Wisdom of Sirach, or it's called Ecclesiasticus. Not Ecclesiastes that's in the Bible, but this is called Ecclesiasticus. All right, so the wisdom of Sirach. And I'm going to read to you chapter 15, and we're going to do actually verse 15. We're going to read verse 15 all the way through 18. All right, so it says, if you will, you can keep the commandments, and acting faithfully rest on your own good pleasure. Now pay attention to what's getting ready to be said. He, meaning the Most High, he has set fire and water before you. Stretch out your hand for whichever you wish. Life and death are before a man, and whichever he chooses will be given him. Do you hear that? Whichever he chooses will be given him. Now, I realized that my unhealthy eating that I had participated in, which I had stretched out my hand to all of my life, was actually killing me. I felt it physically. I saw it in my clothes. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing a shirt that I have not worn in months. And as you can see, it's starting to get, starting to be a little baggy, which I'm very grateful for. But I had put my hand to things that were not good for me in my eating all my life. And when I read this verse, it shook me to my bone, because I realized what I had been doing was choosing death. All the processed food that I was eating was bringing death to my body. I'm sure you all have seen the documentary where this guy goes and he eats at a restaurant, and he eats it for 30 days. And his doctor tells him at the end, it's a fast food restaurant. And at the end of that documentary, the doctor told him if he does not stop eating what he is eating, he is going to die. Okay, so what's the problem with that? The food that we eat is not bringing life to us. The food that's in the produce section over in the corner, that's the food that brings us life. That is the food that brings us health. All right? So think about it. The next time that we want to go out and just eat, and we don't sit down and think about it, count the cost of what we are eating, think about this verse. Let me read it to you again. He has set fire and water before you. Stretch out your hand for whichever you wish. Life and death are before a man, and whichever he chooses will be given him. Listen, I've made a commitment that I'm going to choose life, and that means that I'm going to have to eat food that carries life. Processed food that we buy from the stores, when it's processed by man's hand, processed by machines, stuff being added into the food, that does not bring life to us. Actually, it destroys our body because of all the chemicals and stuff that are in the food. So begin to learn to eat whole food. What do I mean? Leafy green vegetables, produce, any kind of produce is good. Any kind of fruit, those things have life in them. And when you eat life, guess what? That's what provides life to our bodies. I hope that this was good for you today. Every now and then we will read some wisdom scriptures from the apocrypha. And I know that a lot of people are probably wondering, what in the world does wisdom have to do with health? Well, when you gain wisdom, you learn how to operate your health. You learn how to feed your body that causes healing to your health. You all take care. Bye-bye.